Snackle, a few-minute podcast from Self-Access Center and VR Lab, Campus YMX Ecatepec. Have you ever wondered how many times you open the fridge a day, hoping to find something tasty and quick to eat? Picture how your English will be if you ate it in bites. Keep it simple, keep it short, keep it. Snackable, a place where broken English is welcome. Hello, community YMX Ecatepec. What's the tea? Welcome to another episode of Snackable. Thank you for joining us. Today we have such a talented man. When I was doing some research about him, I was like, "Oh my God, wow, amazing!" Because the kind of work that he's working on is amazing. So let's welcome Ivan Vladimir Meza Ruiz. He works as a researcher at IMAS, which is el Instituto de Investigaciones en Matemáticas Aplicadas y en Sistemas. And well, it belongs to UNAM. So, Ivan, welcome to Snackable. How are you?
Fine. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Esmeralda, and Juan de Jesus. Thank you for the invitation to be part of Snackable.
No, thank you for accepting. Well, Ivan, I would like that our community know, I don't know, something about you. What did you study? Where did you study? Your degree? So please, can you tell us?
Yes, I did a bachelor's in computer engineering at UNAM, and I had the chance to work for an institute research. Actually, IMAS, the institute that you mentioned in the introduction. And so I learned about research there and learned about masters and PhDs. So I had the chance to go to Universidad de Edinburgh, which is in Scotland, in United Kingdom, the United Kingdom.
Yep.
So I went there to do a master's first. The master's there lasts a year, so it's a good deal for the money. And the PhD, I stayed 4 years and a half, which was a long PhD. That wasn't a good deal for the money.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it is amazing. But well, I would like to know how is it that you got to study in Edinburgh? I mean, how what's the story?
Yes, it was a luck. At IMAS, several colleagues had studied at Edinburgh, so they told me about it. They told me that it was a good research place. In Mexico, we don't know too much about Edinburgh University, but it happens that it's a hub for artificial intelligence, for natural language processing. That are the things that I'm doing now.
Yep.
So I was very lucky because I was in my ignorance. I chose a great place. So it was because that influence that 3 of the colleagues had been in Edinburgh University. So it was for me. They told me about it, and I decided, okay, it sounds a good idea to go to Scotland to study a PhD.
Yeah, and well, I think that, well, given the fact that it is in United Kingdom, so how important was it to know English?
It was very important. In the whole process, they ask you to show that you know some English.
Yeah.
And arriving there, everyone speaks English. They speak, the people who lives there, they speak an English with a strong accent. So everything that I learned wasn't helpful. In the day to day, I had to learn a lot of things being there. But yes, at the university, everyone speaks an academic English. And because we come from different countries, there were people from Asia, there were people from Europe. There were not, at that time, there were not too many people from Africa, but now I understand there is more people. And from Latin America, we were some people. From North America as well, there were some people. So we all need to speak English, and we speak broken English, academic English, and it was important to communicate.
Yeah, but I mean, when you were outside the university or outside the campus, I mean, you had to interact with, with native people, you know. So as you were saying, it is kind of difficult or harsh to understand Scottish English because, I mean, as you were saying, we are so used to pronouncing or speaking a more standardized English, I guess. So how was it? Could
It
you really
was
understand?
No, I couldn't understand. The first experience I remember it was with the taxi driver. I arrived late, so I need to hurry to pick up my keys. So I keep an address that I understood that was the address, but at the end it
Yeah.
wasn't the address.
Okay.
So the driver wasn't happy about that. That's what I understood because I couldn't understand him,
Yeah.
and he couldn't understand me as well. For them, it's also difficult to catch other accents.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little bit of misunderstanding that I remember, and I still wake up
Yeah.
in the nights with nightmares like, he's not understand
Yes.
me. I'm
Yes.
not
Yes.
gonna
Yes.
write for my keys.
Exactly. Yes. Well, look at you. That experience happened, and
Yes.
well, it is just a funny story to tell, right?
Yes. Yes, there are
Okay.
several like that
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
guess.
understand. Ordering food, and I used to play a lot of football in a field that they had, and
Yep.
yes, I had to learn a lot of technical
Exact
names
vocabulary.
for the football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Okay. And talking about, I mean, about it, did you face the cultural shock, or what was the most impressive thing that you experienced there?
Yes, it's a very different culture. Their costumes are different, and the thing with the daylight is also a challenge because they only have daylight during the winter, like 6 hours,
Okay.
and it's challenging, and it's not fully bright. It's like
Yep.
darkish. So
Mhm.
that was difficult. The cold also added.
Okay.
The first year it wasn't that bad because I was focused on the studies and it was a great program. So I was very distracted. But the
Yep.
second year, I felt it more because it was more relaxed and I could do more things. So
Exactly.
I miss the food. I miss like the how Mexicans are. That we are very friendly. They are a little
Exactly.
bit more separate. Also, things that I didn't miss. It was like things related to security because it's a very safe place.
Yep.
So very fast, I get used to be in a safe place. No, not to having.
Yep.
You are in the street and someone is behind and you are like, what is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
immediately
Yep.
there it wasn't that. So it
Wow.
has good things and bad things.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The good side and the bad one. Uh, wow. I cannot imagine the experience. And what was the thing that you missed the most about Mexico when you were there? The
uh,
tacos.
Los tacos, the family as well was very
Yeah, for sure.
important. Yes, and yes, the food is a topic that
Oh, yeah, for
it's
sure.
every time. No, so I had to adapt to the recipes with the
Yep.
ingredients that they had, and something funny is that they have access to a lot of Mexican food,
Okay.
but is processed and
Mm,
is the influence from the states. So
exactly.
a lot of tacos with hard shell,
Yep.
quesadillas, corn. No, it's not corn. It's the flour
Okay.
tortillas.
Yep.
They have flour tortillas.
Yep.
So I had to improvise. They had their sauces, which are Mexicans, but they are not spicy. And they are basically just
Yeah.
tomato. So I had to adapt and take ingredients. Fortunately, Indian culture have a lot of ingredients that shares
Mhm.
we
The
share.
same. Uh-huh.
Yes, and also their food in textures and flavors is not similar, but is close enough
Mhm.
that now I miss the Indian food from there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And well, did you notice any difference between how we approach education here and, I mean, and there?
Yes, yes, this is a I continue teaching, so this is something that I think a lot often. Um, and yes, my main concern is how can I uh, make things happen here similarly to there, and it's because they are more they don't depend too much of the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was impressed that their teachers are very bad.
Yeah.
They just go and present the material. There is not too much effort
Mhm.
to
To
be a good
explain.
teacher,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
explain, but that forces the students to do their research and to work.
Exactly.
And the students they are used to
To that way of
have
learning.
yes, to have 4 hours a day of that they have to sit and go through the textbook. They are used to ask questions. So I remember that was a big difference. It was also a big difference for me because part of the cultural shock, because I was expecting the Mexican teachers, which are a little bit more approachable. They make an effort to explain, but they didn't, and so I had to. But also that forces to work as a team more, and I learned to work in teams there
Yeah.
more than here.
And also, I think to develop that self responsibility
Yes,
to take care or to approach your education and the things you want to learn and so on.
yes,
And
and
we, mhm. Yep,
it's very virtuous cycle because you start worrying about your own
exactly.
education and your own curiosity. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember uh, colleagues that were in the master that they were asking like very deep questions because they were curious about the
Mm-hmm.
things, and I wasn't used to see that. And my experience as a student, we didn't
Yep.
do too many questions. So I found it interesting that we fight a lot in Mexico to not
Mm-hmm.
be that kind of teacher, but it happens if all of them are the same. Forces the students to a different attitude.
Exactly. Yeah, and of course it has to do with the way we are educated. I mean, from very basic levels in education, no, since primary school, elementary, and so
Yes,
on. So yeah, it could be difficult, but well, I think that our community, our young students need to realize that sooner or later they will have to do that.
yes. More in computing where I am is the things are so fast that you have to learn by yourself. You have to
Exactly.
yes, and to satisfy your curiosity. I think that's very important that you realize that you have questions, that you have interest, and that you have to that there
Hmm.
are mechanisms to satisfy all those questions and to
Exactly.
feel just to satisfy that curiosity.
Exactly. And nowadays, with the use, of technology, we have the internet, we have too many applications and tools that we can use in order to do some research and to start, as you were saying, doing something on your own. So
Yes.
yeah. And it leads me to the following part of the interview. So, as far as I know, you are interested in the fields of artificial intelligence and natural language processing. But well, the thing that drew my attention is that you are into indigenous languages of Mexico.
That's
So
right.
I mean, it could be French, it could be English, it could be Italian, but why? Why these indigenous languages?
Yes, it's a it's a mission that I inherited. It's a long story because I did my PhD in dialogue systems. Now they are very
Mhm.
popular because of the chat GPT system,
Yeah.
but so I was focused in another thing. And the last day I'm leaving my office, my last day as a PhD student. My
Mm-hmm.
office mate is expert in he was he's still a very prominent person on machine translation,
All right.
and he tells me he's playing it at that moment with some computers that were uh, designed for kids in Africa, basically.
Okay.
So he's thinking on translate African languages to
Mm-hmm.
English because for he is it's clear
Yep.
like that need to happen. No, he's expert. He's thinking machine translation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with him in the last day, and he tells me you should do indigenous language in Mexico
Mm-hmm.
and machine translation. And he is just like 2 minutes conversation, and he says, "You should do," no, and then
Yep.
I'm not really prepared to receive that message. I come back to Mexico. Actually, I worked with robotics for a little bit. Then I start going back to natural language processing, and randomly, actually today in the morning we were remembering.
Yeah.
I the FES Cautitlán, students from FES Cautitlán invite me to give a talk there. So I do the talk. It's a really good experience.
Yep.
So I go back to Seoul, and 2 or 3 weeks later, a student who was in that meeting approaches and arrives to my office, directly to my office, and he brings his thesis, which is his bachelor thesis. He brings it and asks me to read it, and it was something about algorithms. It was a very advanced thesis for a undergraduate student.
Yep.
So I read it, and I become friends with this student, and later he comes back and explain me his story, and he's actually half Pira Rica, which for us in Spanish we know them by Huichol. It's half Pira Rica and half German.
Okay.
And he knows about technology, and he would like to
make the translation.
No, he would like to give back to his community. He had already done a lot. He was on the open source movement, and he had translated. He had worked with computers. They had a program for donate computers. He had done, but he would like to do something different, no? So he reached me, and then I remember I come back to my office mate years before, and I say, okay, we can do machine translation for Villa Rica. The mission that my office mate had given me, and he has also a similar mission, so we start working on it, and it has been a very difficult topic. It's complicated. Academically, it's very rewarding. Whatever we do is welcome. Juan de Jesus also has worked on the topic. The community is ready to learn about these things, but it's very difficult. Now that I'm trying to explain what we are doing is we are becoming like amateur anthropologists in order to get the data and in order to understand the communities, in order to do things ethically and not just take data and exploit the data. So yes, it's very rewarding. It's a very difficult task. The colleague the student now is a very prominent researcher in the field. Jesus Mager. He works in Amazon, New York now. He just finished. He's finishing his PhD in Germany, and I'm very proud that he continued, and he's now one of the leaders of our field. And I continue working on it from Mexico, and with that goal to do the things ethically, but that makes the things difficult.
Yeah, well, that is such an amazing story. And well, I mean, I am an expert in this thing about artificial intelligence and so on. But I was thinking, I mean, the important thing or the interesting thing for you that who are developing these kind of tools and resources, I mean, you were saying it is difficult because you have to do some research and so on, and to immerse in the culture and so on. For example, now if I see it as a user of this final tool or this final product, it leads me to the following question. So, do you think that the number of people who learn a language will decrease because of artificial intelligence? Because I mean, as a user, it is like, come on, there's this application, I can translate it, and so on. So I don't need to do more just to have the application on my phone, maybe, right? Yeah.
Yes. No, I don't think it will happen. I think there will be we will need to learn other
Mm-hmm.
languages. Is the experience of communicating with other people in another culture is very
Mm-hmm.
unique. It should be there with planting a tree, having a kid,
Yeah.
learning a language should be
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it will decrease. My hope is because the machines are gonna do all the productive things that we have time to learn more languages,
Mm-hmm.
and mainly I would also like to see that we learn more original languages from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yes, we need to. Or the original languages from Mexico have the problem that they have the number of speakers are reducing. The kids are not learning because
Mm-hmm.
it's a strategic for some families. It's a strategic to learn Spanish, so they
Mm-hmm.
don't teach because of society is very discriminative of speakers of other
Mm-hmm.
languages of indigenous languages.
Mm-hmm.
So there are not that many. So I hope that at some point AI do everything for us, and we can learn Mije, Ayuk, bueno, Mije y Ayuk es el mismo, pero Ñatro, que es más agua,
Okay.
Maya, Náhuatl, because it's the same experience that we have when we learn English, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the purpose of here. It's the same
Yeah.
experience, but now with Maya, now with
Yeah.
and
Yeah. For sure.
our mind change, our
Mm-hmm.
perception of things change once we learn
Mm-hmm.
another languages. So I hope it doesn't reduce it, and I hope technology help us to free us and have time to learn 20 language
Exactly.
everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I think I share the same idea. It should be seen as a tool, nor as a dependable thing. I mean, it is nothing like I am speaking my mind, in real time. Otherwise, if I had my phone, of course, I will need to write the script or something, but it is not the same, like to have this satisfaction that you know the language,
Yeah,
that you are able to communicate in real time. So it
yes.
should be, yep, yeah, sure, come.
Your word satisfaction is very relevant.
Hmm.
It comes also to curiosity, satisfaction. Uh, yes, being just on your language is good, is fulfilling, and you can do a lot of things. But once that you are in another language and you can think and you can speak and you can communicate with other persons, you can understand different ways of life,
Exactly.
different humors, for instance.
Hmm.
The songs, for instance. I
Hmm.
remember I have a lot of problems with songs. I couldn't understand songs at all, and it's recently, like maybe 10 years, that I'm able to listen now songs and understand them, and I understand them and develop a different relation, no,
Yeah.
with the song. So yes, satisfaction is very satisfactory to speak a language, and English is very important for us in our society. But any language that
Yeah,
the,
for sure.
the students want to learn they should do it, and they should uh, practice and listen to Snackable to practice it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that speaking a language is an eye opener from other ways of living. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, for sure. Okay, Ivan. Finally, is there something you would like to suggest to students in order to achieve their goals?
Uh, with respect to languages or in general?
I think it could be both in general. I
But
mean, because I think that you never picture or envisage yourself studying your PhD in Edinburgh. So, I mean, for me, that is such a nice experience and goal, of course.
yes, for in general, I think I invite the listeners to be bold and a little bit naive. Like, don't believe on the prejudice that we have.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't explain this, but I went to Scotland. I couldn't understand the taxi driver, but
Yeah.
I couldn't also understand the instructions in the plane. I had taken tons of courses on English, and I couldn't develop it. but it was enough so I can be put in the situation to that I have to speak, and I speak a broken English. The other person were very understanding, the listeners at that moment, and we
Mhm.
start communicating, and the ear start to open. So we have to be bold, and we have to speak. And now students
Nice.
that are working in international environments, they tell me that uh, they don't need the perfect English. They just because they are not actually with a lot of native speakers.
Mhm.
They are with other persons which also learn. So there is this broken English which is perfect for working,
Exactly. To
perfect
be
for
understood.
yes to understand, perfect to communicate, and you can start there. You don't need the perfect English. You don't need to be worried about it. You are pronounced it well. People are gonna make an effort
Mhm. Mhm.
to listen to you and to communicate. And if you also pay that effort, if you put that effort, they for sure they are gonna you're also gonna understand as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So be bold, be naive, speak, and the ear is gonna open, and you're gonna finish speaking another language.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, Ivan, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your knowledge with us. I really enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation. Congratulations for the project. The best of the locks with the vision. I think it's a very noble idea, and it's very well executed. Uh, every time I listen the opening, I craft for snacks. So the
Yeah,
psychological way is working very well.
yeah. Oh, thank you so
But
much.
you are doing
Thank
an
you so much.
excellent job. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And also, I would like to say, I mean, our community, the same. This project, I co-work it with, as you were saying at the beginning, with Juan de Jesus Amador Reyes, the professor. So he never speaks. I don't know why. I think he should start doing it. But let me tell our community that he is always contributing with ideas and also with the things that we are working on this project. So thank you, Juan.
You're welcome. Hello, community. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you for your patience and your share with us your knowledge.
Thank you, Juan. It's good that you speak. It's great.
Thank you. But the starting this project is our professor Esmeralda, so it's not that big problem.
You are also good. You are also good. But well, community, thank you for joining us, and see you later, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.